Our proportional relationships is simply looking at some objects and essentially multiplying them by the same thing. Kind of like scale factors, it's kind of like proportion. So that is what today is going to be dealing with. It's going to be dealing with a lot of group work, a lot of group conversation, just kind of like yesterday was. The biggest thing is you're dealing with fractions or decimals. That's what's going to make this so hard today. Or maybe not. I mean, it's really how well you understand relationships, how well you understand multiplying or dividing fractions or decimals. Okay, so let's start with the warm-up. It says recipe ratios. A recipe calls for half a cup of sugar and 1 cup of flour. Complete the table to show how much sugar and flour to use in a different number of batches. All right, so this is your original. Remember when we talked about double number lines? And we had like this batch was times 1, this batch was times 2. That's kind of what this is talking about. So this is your first original batch. All right, why don't we work together on this warm-up to just figure out, you're filling in the blanks, and then just next to it, write times whatever you're multiplying it by. Okay? All right, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Go. Working together.
No, just eating.
Oh, okay. I got one of them.
How?
Because I just divided 3/4 by 1/2 and got this, and it would make sense because 1/2 equals 1, and 3/4 it would be like 1/2. It would give me like 2/3.
Multiply this side by divide this side. All of this? Oh, yeah, because we're trying to figure out this. Oh, so this is times 2? Or it could just be the next one. Okay, so you multiply this by 2 to get to here. You multiply this by 2 to get to here. But to get here to here, you have to divide by another one.
Wouldn't it be a 3 minutes?
This says 1 right there.
Oh, guys. I just wrote it out. So it goes from 1 to 1/2 to 1/3.
Oh, so it's gonna try a half.
Why are you dividing by 2?
Or the regular number, half, 3/4, the regular number, 1/2. That makes sense.
No, I said
Then that's
I don't know. This might be wrong, but I know this one's correct.
You said we're multiplying by 1/2.
For the last one.
Dividing by 1/2. We get to
Yeah, it's 1/4.
we divide.
The last
And
one's
then
all
divide
1/4.
that.
Because you're adding 1/4. The last
So then we divide that by that. To get this.
Never mind. It should be 7, 8.
You got 3 out now.
3 is it?
Yeah, that's what I got originally. This is 7 days.
I think that is.
I see what you're saying.
So you got 6, 7, 8.
Do like
2 and 1/2. Right?
So you're saying it was
Yeah, it's 7, 8.
Yeah, because look, this is 2 and then this is 1, and then 1 is
so it's
sugar is
always
1
gonna
half.
be a half.
This is like 1 so a half of
If your group finishes, you may stand up.
Oh, we have to write what we multiply. So it's just going times 1/2. So it'd be no times 2. No, it's just right here.
Oh, because the equation.
He said he would like me.
I fixed it.
Yeah, you do use.
I have two scarves in my backpack for that. This is my only time. Shit. Look how long I have. Oh my god. You have a lot of pencils. Wait, are you just giving him the
I don't really give you more yet.
Are you just giving him the entire collection? No, he's putting them in the
I know I have it. I thought those.
You remind me a lot of my mother. Like the shrugging shoulders, like the way you shrug your shoulders.
What do you want me to do?
She has like the hair. Is that guy?
My other pencil was way too weak.
My hair was gonna look like I think I might.
My mom's super like as well. You have like the same attitude. Do what I say. You're in trouble.
All right, guys, let's have a seat. So, first, let's fill out the chart. All right, so your first column, the sugar is half, your flour is 1. So the next column, they give you your sugar 3/4. What is your flour column? Brock.
1 and 1 half.
All right, the next column, we don't know our sugar, but we do know our flour, which is 1 3/4. So how much sugar do we have? Haley.
7
Okay, the next column, we have 1 full cup. So therefore, how many cups of flour do we have? Aubrey.
2.
And then the last one, we have 2.5 cups of flour, which means we have how many cups, Gabriel?
1 and 1/4.
Perfect. All right, so what was your strategy or your group strategy to figure out how to fill this in? River.
So if we had the number for the sugar, we would times it by 2, and if we had the flour, we would divide it by 2.
So sugar was times 2, and the flour was divided by 2. Oops, sorry, can't see that. Okay, so that's essentially depending on, come on now, work with me here. Depending on which row or which number you had determined if you're multiplying or dividing. Now, did some of you guys multiply the whole thing? Could you have
I mean, you
multiplied this
could've.
side by half?
Yes.
Isn't that the same thing as dividing it by 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just wondering. All right, so keep that in mind when we move into the next part of the lesson. So slide over to 3.2, the price of rope. All right, pencils down. 2 students are solving the same problem. At a hardware store, they can cut a length of rope off of a big roll, so you can buy any length you like. The cost of 6 feet of rope is $7.50. How much would you pay for 50 feet of rope? So, Kieran solved it this way. He used a chart. He gave you the original rate of 6 feet for $7.50. Then in his chart, he's like, well, I need to find, what is this called? Remember, we're dealing with money, so don't tell me unit rate. He found 1 foot of rope cost $1.25. What did he find? What's that called? Caleb? Unit price. Caleb, why was it important for him to find the unit price?
Because it would, like, you would have to like deal with like a fraction or a decimal if you wanted to go from 6 to 50. But if you just went, it'd be easier to just go to 1, so that way you just multiply the 1 by 50 and however much the price is.
Okay, so this strategy, he found the unit price. Do you have to find the unit price?
No.
Absolutely not. Sometimes it is a little bit easier. And then obviously down here, he multiplied the 1 by 50, which essentially you're doing the same on both sides. Multiplied by 1/6, multiplied by 1/6, and that's how he got his price. Multiply by 50, so what do we have to do with that 125? Multiply by 50, so quickly multiply by 50, give me a thumbs up when you have your answer. Just give me a thumbs up. Yep, you're good. Thumbs up when you have your answer. Good? All right, Kinsley, what is the answer? So it cost $62.50 for 50 foot of rope. Come on, work with me here.
Oh, there it goes.
Because it saw me coming back. All right, so we obviously know his answer would be $62.50 just by using his strategy. Now, he wants to know if there's a more effective, easier, faster way to solve this. So this is what Priya did. So there's no information on this chart other than they went from 6 to 50, and we know that 6 feet is worth $7.50. I'm going to give you 3 minutes independently to solve this. Tell me what you're either multiplying or dividing by, and what do you think about this method? Go. 3 minutes. Stand up if you finish before then. Remember, you already know the total for 50 foot of rope. We already solved that. So use that information in this to help you figure out her strategy. Stand up when you have your answer. Stand up when you have your answer. Obviously, you have to write what you think. So, a little bit harder. Yes, no? Alright, as I walked around, the majority of you guys did division. Not everybody. But your first step was to divide, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Question. How many of you guys divided 50 divided by 6? What did you get?
8.3.
Or 8 1/3, right? And then did you multiply 6 times 8 1/3?
No, I multiplied 7.50 times 8.3.
And you got a different answer than 6.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
62.25.
So what you should have done is multiplied your 6 times that 8 1/3, and you end up with 6250. So that's not the only way. Why? Because essentially you're dividing here, then you have to multiply here. So if you're going this way, it's division. If you go this way, it's multiplication.
Is it like
That
cross
makes sense.
method thing?
No? Alright, so what was your thought on this method? Essentially, Priya eliminated this step of finding that unit price, right? And she just jumped right from here's this rate to this. So how many of you guys like this better?
What?
If you understood it more, do you think you would like it better?
Yeah. Because it'd be cooler. Because it'd be more decimals instead of just.
I feel like finding the unit price.
I'm just saying.
It's like because like then it's more easier when you do the unit price.
It's good to know.
It is good to know both because sometimes you're not going to have the option to be able to. I mean, you can always, let me say it this way, you can always find the unit rate or the unit price of anything. Always. Might not be the nicest numbers, but you can find that. I personally, if I do have to deal with rate of any sort, I always find the unit rate because I am not one that can look at numbers like this and be like, oh, I'm just going to divide, or I will spend 10 minutes trying to figure this out and be like, this is stupid once I figure it out. Just because I'm like, I did all that work when I could have just done it this way. Because my brain likes to overthink this type of process. Okay? All right, flip your paper over. Cooper, it's okay, man.
I don't know.
You're all right. It's
I
okay.
don't know why I did it.
It's okay.
So confused.
I was on the right
I
track.
did something and I got the right answer, but I was trying to figure out why I did it and I can't figure out why.
Hey, you got the right answer.
It's because your brain 10 minutes ago.
All right, so
Your brain knew.
now we're talking about swimming, manufacturing, and painting. So as a group, you guys, put your pencils down, please. You guys are going to be doing 3.3. So you're going to be doing number 1. You're going to be doing number 2. You're going to be doing number 3 and answering number 4. Number 4 applies to 1, 2, and 3. All together. Okay? Make sure that you're showing your work. What do you notice about these two charts? Raise your hand. What do you notice about those two charts? Cooper. They're not complete, so you definitely got to complete them. What else do you notice?
They don't have a unit price.
They don't have a unit price or unit rate or unit anything, right? So is that something that you might have to do outside of your chart if you want to do that? You don't, you do not have to. Okay? Any questions before you get started? All right, you have 10 minutes. Go.
Are you about 114 and divided by 5 minus 5? Are you in that? Yeah, I got I got 22.8.
I delivered it popcorn, so I didn't show you
I was throwing it ahead.
Yeah, I am.
You're already working ahead. You should have.
Yeah, I don't know, when I look at equations, I just like stop going.
The answer's 8. To work in my head. The answer's 8.
Unit rate is 8. Now we have 0.8.
Hey, let me give you a hint. Remember this process.
Okay.
Remember that process. This one right here. Okay?
91.2.
Why are you screaming out answers? God bless it, River.
He doesn't need
You
her.
said 5?
No, because on the other side.
5? No.
No, I'm not.
No, she said this divided by that,
Yeah.
and then whatever you
So
get
then
back.
we just have the unit rate, the unit rate. There's one and one quarter, right? No, we do. That means it's 125. Yeah, so now we do.
You put your paper.
91. She did 50 divided by 60, and then that divided by 6. Or you can just change it to 50. And it got the right answer. Yeah, and that's all.
You get 'Tell me what you guys get when you do it. When you do 23.8 times 5.
Guys, I figured it out. No. I figured the unit rate, but I mine's it by one. I did it 14. No, it's just I know what that 1, 4, 2.
I got 1.25.
Easy go. Guys, number 2 is so big. He's so tiny. Guys, number 2 is so big. I'm happy. Number 2 is your favorite.
I got 140 pounds.
I got 100 and I got 10.
I multiply.
So what do you
I did this. Five plus 2 plus 5, that's 17. No, that's 12. Guys, you goofy.
I would take that child and that spoiled person said.
You're right.
That's illegal. It's not illegal. Kidnapping is illegal. I'm calling the police.
You guys have 4 minutes. group will not go outside because they think I'm.
It's 80, right?
I knew it was the
Yeah, I was bro, I didn't buy 80. How did you get 6?
If you get this one to as near as you can get more of that.
Yes, and then I did 89.
Number instead of that.
And then 620 already divided by 80. We have 5, and then you have 75, and then multiply by 100.
Okay, I think I know what to do. I want to add 3, 1,
So, I got 0.91.
91.2.
Bro, I just do 3 divided by 8. Bro, I
just like we did up here.
I never saw that. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me try.
The answer to number 2 is 200.
You already stand your mad side.
It's 200. I divided 600. I divided 600 by 3. And I got 200.
Because it is 3.
Not very much.
How was that? Yeah, and then 3 goes to 10. Why do we got 3 goes to 10. And then
So I got 83.
okay, what I'm doing in my group. So 1 1/2 equals 5. And then 3 So I said yes because 1 1/2 is 4. 5. And then 3 equals 10. So what's happening? And then if it's 15,
600 divided by 3.
Bro, why are you so loud? No, we're not.
You do a chart tomorrow. You want you to work to a chart?
No, this isn't a problem.
We gotta make
Alright. Guys.
Hey.
Okay, walking around for the most part. You guys did a good job on number 1 and number 2. Alright, so number 1, what was your strategy? Like, what was your process? Alright, Jackson.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure if I got this right, but I did 114 divided by 4.
And you got what?
28.5,
And then what?
and then I multiplied that by 114.
You multiplied this by 114? Are you sure?
I mean by
What was your final answer?
the one other number. I had 1,250.
Okay, so it can't be, if this time is less than this time, your amount cannot be more,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so I actually meant to times it by 5.
Nope.
Is it times 4 again?
No. All right, so, but this is why it's important, guys, to look at your information. All right, not a bad strategy, but not the right one. All right, so we know that's not going to work. All right, what's another strategy? Cora.
114 divided by 5.
What did you get?
I got 22 and 8 tenths.
Okay, and then what?
And then you multiply that by 4.
And you got what?
91.2.
Okay.
Wait, but on the other.
Is that the only way? No. What's another way?
So I found out that 5 times 4/5 equals 4. So I did 114 times 4/5, and also got 91.2. What the heck?
It works. All right, what's another way? What'd you guys do?
4 divided by 5.
So they did 4 divided by 5, and they got, and then what?
And then we multiplied it by 114.
And got what?
91.2.
Again, multiple ways to get the same answer, right? So I'm okay with whichever strategy you use. If you use this one, fantastic. If you use Cooper's crazy one, fantastic. If you use that top one, fantastic.
Because
5 divided by 5.
Because I know
Not
that
5
I
divided by
need to
4.
minus
Four
4/5,
times
so it has to
four.
be anything less than 1. And 4/5
That was the
of
first
5.
thing that came to his mind.
No, I did mental math, so I forgot it.
get
Mental math.
5. You forgot.
No, but
That's
it
why you gotta write it down.
You messed up.
All right.
we don't talk about
Yeah.
Did you just put the 4 over the 5?
All right, listen, guys.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
It makes sense.
I'll wait. You're just wasting your outside time at this point. All right. So 1, 2, 3 different ways to get the right answer for this one. So let's go to the next one. All right, we have no numbers in our chart this time. So what is the first row? At least tell me that first. So what are the 2 numbers we're putting in there? Jack.
3 on sparkling water and 8 on the plain water.
And 8 on the plain water. All right, so what was the strategy that you guys used? Let me hear it from different groups. All right, Jason.
For some reason, I started off by getting 640, which then I divided by 8.
Where'd you get 640 from?
Actually, I just got it by multiplying 80 by 8.
80 by 8? Why?
Because I knew we were going to need to use 80 for the number of bottles of plain water. So I multiplied that by 80 to
Where's-
get 640.
Where did
And I
you get
took-
the 80 from, though, babe?
That was our question.
Yeah. You can't just make up numbers.
He said it's because it's easy to divide by 8.
No. No.
I mean, technically, you should have
That's the right
this.
answer, though.
Yeah, I did get to.
I'm not saying that you don't have the right answer, but I'm gonna say I'm not gonna put yours down because I don't understand where you pulled out 80 from.
That's what we were trying to ask.
All right, shh.
Well, actually.
Listen, hold on, listen. So, you have 3 bottles, goes here, you have 8 bottles, goes there. Why did I automatically put that 600 in there? Ace,
Because it's in the problem.
it's in the problem. So therefore, I still don't know where you got the 80 from. Let me finish explaining your strategy to me.
Because you have 64 times 10, 640, and then you take away the 40, which would just be minus 5 from the actual product, which you multiply by 3 to get the sparkling water.
He's got
I'm
a
done.
crazy.
I'm so glad. I can't even, like.
We divide it by and then you divide it
Guys, hush!
left over to equal 75, which then you just multiply by 3 to get the number of sparkling water, which is 225.
Wait a minute. You lost 3 and
Okay,
8.
Christian,
That works.
listen.
We did 600 divided by 8 to get 75. Then we multiplied 75 by 3 to get 225.
So you're telling me your strategy is easier than that?
To him, yes.
Okay, so there's one strategy. Did somebody do something different?
I can explain it this time.
But they said the answer.
Okay, let me hear it, Cooper. Shh, guys.
Okay, well, this time I can explain how I guess mentally got 2 2/3. Because 3 times 2 is 6, and 2
2/3 and 3 is 2. And 6 plus 2 equals 8.
Why are y'all making this so complicated?
That's more complicated.
Okay, that actually makes
That is
sense.
not complicated.
That's what we did.
That makes sense.
That makes
I'm not
sense.
saying none of it does or doesn't make sense.
Or you could just
That's what we
divide
did.
2 by 8 and then multiply it by 600.
Alright, so I'm gonna put something down that makes sense. 'Cause y'all, what did you say, Mason?
Divide 3 by 8 and then multiply it by 600.
3 divided by 8, which gives you what? 30
Yeah, 375.
times 600 equals same thing. I am never going to tell you to not use your strategy or not use your strategy or whatever crazy strategies you come up with, because I do not believe in telling you guys that they're wrong. Just because I don't understand them doesn't mean you don't, right? So if it makes sense to you, boo-boo, and it makes sense to you, boo-boo, you do it. I don't understand it. I'm not going to put it up there because I'm going to look at it and be like, why did I write that later? But the point is, if you guys, listen, if you guys have other strategies that work, Jackson, sit up, that is fine with me. I'm not going to ever say you can't do that. So by all means, do your craziness and do your craziness. All right. How many of you guys threw the charts away and just started trying to do math on this one? Why? Do the chart. If you draw a quick chart.
We didn't even get to that one.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we didn't get to this part.
Guys, listen, please stop talking. Stop. If you draw a chart and you have your what? Light blue? So you have your blue and your white. So how many quarts of blue paint do we need for this one? What does it tell us? Cooper? 1.5. How many quarts of white paint do we need? Ace? 5. And then, so it gives us in our question, it says how much white paint would you need to mix 4 quarts of blue paint? So, does it give us our blue paint or does it give us our white paint?
Blue.
Read the question. Read the, how much white paint would you need to mix with 4 quarts of blue paint? So it gives us our blue, which is 4. If you haven't solved it, solve it now. Quickly.
As a group?
As a group.
Okay, so guys, okay, so let's go go 1.5 and then we just divide by 5. 1.5 and then
5 divided by
Because
I got 0.3.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing
0.3 times 4.
and then, but
Yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't the white be like more than that?
Stand up when you have your answer.
Answer 0.375.
exactly, answer is
Roll.
You guys get
So,
I divided it as 7.5 and then I divided it by 4. Guys, the answer is 30. The answer is
1.875.
we just multiplied. We multiplied 5 by 1.5 and then we just multiply that, and then once you get that answer, you multiply it by 4, and then it's 330.
okay, so here's why. Because how much is 310?
Yeah,
And so here's why.
But the answer.
No,
Guys, this should not be taking that long. If you are done, you should be standing.
310.
Wait, we done multiply that?
You multiply that.
Did you get a little?
How?
and then you multiply by 2.
You do 5 divided by 8. You get the answer.
I think I go to 12.
Get it, Christian? to teach him the easy
I don't understand any of what they did. I had to teach him the easy way. I don't understand what they did.
Here, I'll teach
So
you.
you do 5 divided by 1 and a half and multiply that by 4.
What I decided is to do is like 1.5, like the same as 1.5. Yeah, I got 0.2. I don't know crazy. Then I multiplied it by
They're not so hard.
Alright,
What did you get for your answer? It's a big
what is 5 divided by 1 and a half give you? 5 divided by 1 and a half. Jack? Nope. 3 and something? Which is the same thing. Okay? Then you take 3 and 1/3 and you multiply by what? 4. And you end up with what? 13 and what?
1/3.
1/3.
How do you say that?
So your answer is 13 and 1/3. We are not going to do number 4. Cross that out. No. You did this one?
Yeah.
We did. That was the cool down from today, and the one up top we did yesterday.
Yeah, this is the one where you told us to pick a question.
Yeah.
This is not. This is a completely different lesson, I promise.
No, the one number 1 on the top.
No.
Yeah, you said the same that.
Yeah, wait.
And the same number.
Miss Kenny, I was so close. I got 13.2.
Oh, okay.
She said you were close.
This is a completely different lesson.
Yeah. I
I know it's 12.5.
Alright, so we're not doing this. We're looking at finishing the race and more orange juice. You are solving. Number 1, put your pencils down. Number 1 says Lynn runs 2 3/4 miles in 2/5 of an hour. Tyler runs 8 2/3 miles in 4/3 of an hour. How long does it take each of them to run 10 miles at that rate? Number 2, Priya mixes 2.5 cups of water with 1/3 cup of orange juice. Diego mixes 1 2/3 cups of water with 1/4 cup of orange juice. How much concentrate should each of them mix with 100 cups of water? So essentially, you're finding the rate and then finding their total. This is the exact same as the last 4 problems you have done. So if you understand the divide and multiply, I highly recommend you use those strategies. If you don't understand the divide and multiply, be with you. Alright, when you're done, come and see me. I will give you your cool down. I need to check this though. You're working independently. Okay?
So I'm assuming we have to get it right.
You have to do your very best. And if you do your very best, then you'll get it right. I would recommend drawing 2 little charts. You can do this in your notebook, whatever you need. Okay?
We're doing number 1.
Number 1 and number 2. Go.